So Leon Panetta, if you don't know who he is, he's the former head of the CIA. He's the guy who he's the former defense secretary. He's the guy who said this when they asked him about when he was defense secretary, how many wars we were currently fighting, and here's his response.
In how many countries are we currently engaged in a shooting war?
It's a good question.
You have to stop and count.
I'll have to stop and think about that because
we're homicidal maniacs and we killed so many people. We have no idea. We don't even care. We're spending money like crazy on war. We can't even count how many wars we're in. You know, when the guy in charge of your wars can't even count how many they're in, I think maybe we have a problem. And no one has ever said, hey, how are you going to pay for that? Hey, how are you guys going to pay for that? No one never asked that question. So you could imagine, and this guy's supposed to be a Democrat, working for Democrats, giggling about how many wars we're in that he can't even count. Oh, makes you feel good to be a progressive, huh?
Jimmy, wars are funny.
The wars are funny. So ask some of those Gold Star mothers how funny it is.
And so hard to keep track of.
So hard to keep track of how many places we're fighting.
They're like cats.
So he gave a speech at the DNC last week in Philadelphia, and he started to get a chant during his speech. So let's listen. And by the way, Leon Panetta shouldn't be running an unaccountable government agency that interferes with foreign governments. He should be a regional manager of a sandwich chain. So he started to say how bad Putin was and how bad Trump was. This is what Leon Panetta was starting to say. And here we go. So they're chanting no more war, no more wars. That's what they're chanting as he's trying to give a speech about what a bad guy Trump is and how we can't give him the nuclear codes. So that's what they're chanting. By the way, this was referred to on the news as the Sanders wing. No, what you got confronted with, Leon, was the peace wing, the pro-peace, anti-war wing of the Democratic Party. They're a big part of the Democratic Party. So what did they do when they heard? Let's watch some more.
today,
And he's giggling now. Says, no more war. That's funny. We've got so many I can't even count. I can't stop laughing when people are talking about war. I'm Leon Panetta. I can't stop laughing about war. Who better to put in charge of them except me, the giggling warmonger?
today, only today, let me point out something that just happened today. Donald Trump today once again took Russia's side. He asked the Russians.
Hey, by the way, fun fact. Putin is a Christian surveillance state capitalist who illegally invades sovereign nations. The American political establishment should love that guy. Let me read it to you again, that joke. Putin is a Christian surveillance state capitalist who illegally invades sovereign nations. The American political establishment should love that guy. Because he's exactly what we are. If you put it that way, Hank.
Are you talking about George Bush? I mean, you could just change the name.
Right?
Same description.
Right? And if Panetta thinks Donald Trump is so dangerous, why doesn't he just drone strike him? Oh, boy. By the way, Brian Williams made a comment when this was happening, when they were chanting no more war. And Brian Williams said, sadly, you can still hear chants of no more war. Brian Williams, you empty-headed idiot. Would you please go away and lie about your resume in some other venue, please? You idiot, you corporate tool. If you don't have anything, if you don't have anything to say that's informative, Maybe just go away, Brian Williams. So that's what happened there.
Did he say it confidently, though?
I can't find a video of him saying it. He
smooth,
said,
charismatic TV confidence.
Brian Williams, yes,
that
he had the TV
makes
confidence.
Rachel Maddow giggle.
It makes Rachel Maddow giggle. If you ever want to have your stomach turn, if you drink some poison, go watch Rachel Maddow and Brian Williams talk to each other at an evening on the news. It'll make your stomach turn. It will. Okay, so there you go. Leon Panetta, fantastic. Fantastic. Really nice
work.
work.
And to make sure that the protesters couldn't be seen, they turned off the lights on them in the DNC, creating more outrage, right?
Yeah, so what they did, the way the DNC responded to the chants of no more war, was they brought in white noise machines, and they also turned the lights out on them. They turned the lights out on those people. And then they brought out their cell phone cameras and lights, and they started using their cell phone lights. So that's what the DNC does to the anti-war wing of their own goddamn party. And, conventions are supposed to be a debate. That's where you're supposed to come together in a convention and debate ideas, right? And that's what you're not supposed to be. They're so right-wingy. Could you imagine the Republicans doing that to the Tea Party if they were protesting something at the Republican convention? They turn the lights out on the Tea Party? You think they would ever do that?
They're going, more war, more war.
They'd be chanting, more interventionist wars, kill those Muslims. And they turn the lights out on them at the Republican convention? That would never happen. So what's happening right now, this is how messed up the Democratic Party is. They're more right-wing authoritarian at their own conventions than the Republicans. The Republicans let Ted Cruz go on stage and not endorse him. The Democrats wouldn't let Nina Turner speak. The Democrats won't even let the anti-war crowd have a voice at their own convention. They turn the lights out on them.
I mean, how can you not doubt what the Democratic Party now stands for? Because
they're for war.
They're pro-war.
The Democratic Party is now officially pro-war. And how you can vote for that and call yourself a grown-up is beyond me. You should never pledge your vote to a pro-war party like that. Military-industrial complex. I can't take it, right? And so these people who think it's the grown-up thing to do to somehow now say, I'm going to pledge my vote to this party, that it's so misguided and morally bankrupt that it's going to lead to even a worse country. So why don't you tell the Democrats that they don't have your vote if they're pro-war, that they don't have your vote if they're pro-fracking, that they don't have your vote if they're pro-TPP, that they don't have your vote if they're not for deregulating Wall Street. They don't have your vote. Because how are they going to change if you say, because Trump, you have my vote then. All those things that I'm diametrically opposed to, I'm going to be for. Now, I'm going to vote for it because it's Trump. No, you got to make them come to you. This is what our party has devolved to. Warmongers on stage giggling and turning the lights off on people who are against war in the Democratic Party. That's what the Democratic Party has come to, and now I'm supposed to grow up and fucking support that? Never.